Hello everyone and welcome to another Total War Warhammer 2 information video. Earlier on today, when I was at work, CA released a beautiful new trailer where you get to zoom round, well, you don't get to zoom round, the camera zooms round Oath-1, and we get to see lots of really nice things, like we get to see the fortress gates, we get to see Tyrion, we get to see Teclis, even though he's not in Oath-1. We get to see lots of land, we get to see a lot of really unique looking civilizations, which is some settlements, a lot of very unique settlements, which is something I'm super excited to see. Because in the first Total War Warhammer, almost all the settlements were just clones of each other. They didn't feel that unique. In this one, they do look a lot more unique. It looks awesome. It looks... oh, just everything about it is awesome. There wasn't a whole lot of information as you'd expect. You can wait to the end if you've not seen it. I will post just unedited, trailer at the end. But there was a few things I noticed. Well, obviously, one of the big ones is vampires. The vampire pirates are confirmed. To me, they look like they're just a generic vampire counts faction. They might get a unique legendary lord, but apart from that, they're going to be just like Musalon. And yeah, I also noticed an Empire army nearby Mazdamundi. And there was also a third army that was being led by a Treeman Ancient, which was not a Wood Elf army. It was one of these sort of treasure hunting armies with a mix of like everything. They've put aside their animosity and they're going to work together to try and get some nice riches and treasure, which is a wee bit weird that a tree man was leading it. But oh well, not talking about that. Back to Mazdamundi though, it did say he was in a unique, well, it didn't say it was unique to them, but it's a new stance, and this new stance suits, I'd say, High Elves and Lizardmen pretty well. Can't remember what it was called, but it was something like scrying, where they would sort of just sit there casting a magical aura around themselves, letting them gaze around themselves, get a much larger field of vision and view, which is something mages often do in the fluff, in the lure. And remember, off the top of my head, I remember Marathi was very good at it. She'd have, like, know everything that was going on in her domain just by, like, viewing it magically. And that is a new stance that suits, really, all these very magically tuned races very well. And I'm glad to see it in. The water that you travel across looks devastating. Just can't think, there's not really much information to talk about. I did think the boats didn't look that great. They looked like they glided, they looked a wee bit like they were too high in the water, glided a bit too effortlessly through it. But I suppose this is the campaign map, it's supposed to look more like pieces moving over a board than actual realistic, because they're like 10 times the size of trees. But yeah, it looked a wee bit weird to me. The Lizardman ship especially, it just looked like a floating temple. But yes, I can't think of anything else. I think I've talked about anything. There wasn't really lots of juicy information in there, so I'm just going to shut up now and let you watch the trailer. Hope you have all enjoyed this. Bye.
Welcome, my lord, to the new world. Before us lies Ulthuan, home of the High Elves. At its center, at the very Isle of the Dead, the great vortex surges and swirls, forged by the High Elves in ages past to siphon the winds of magic and defeat the chaos invasion that threatened to engulf the world. As the fork-tongued comet of Sotek made its recent passage across the heavens, it breached the Great Warding, making it dangerously unstable. There are those who would unbind the vortex and exploit its wild energies. Still others seek to heal the cyclone and preserve the order. Each race must perform a series of arcane rituals, both to decide the fate of the vortex and prevent the other races from achieving victory. Let us take a closer look at the High Elves. Led by Prince Tyrion, they are a proud, arrogant, and highly developed people, combining peerless martial prowess with an uncommon grasp of the magical arts. The High Elves are in love with politics, and the most successful elven leaders use their influence to court the most powerful generals and meddle in the affairs of other, lesser races. The High Elves are also master traders and exploit their contacts to gain valuable intelligence on the affairs of their trading partners. To the north of Ulthuan lie vast, near unassailable fortress gates, guarding the outer reaches of the elven homelands. It would take a formidable force indeed to breach these ramparts. And now, the elves have enacted a ritual. This puts them one step closer to stabilizing the vortex and achieving their ultimate victory. With continents separated by mighty oceans, your forces may have to embark on perilous journeys to reach foreign soil, risking encounters with deadly storms. Even skirting the coastlines can pose a threat, as treacherous reefs and shallows take their toll on the drafts of your transport ships. Here in Lustria, certain races of the old world have gained footholds. Will you put their outposts to the sword, or make allies of these adventurers, securing their loyalty for the challenges to come? Across the landscape lie the ruins of ancient cities. You may choose to erect new settlements in their place, or instead delve them for hidden riches and lost magical artifacts. Dangers may lurk in the depths, however. Be ever watchful, for rogue armies roam these lands. Composed of warriors from many races, they lay aside their former animosities and band together in the pursuit of riches and power. Not all legendary lords campaign within their homelands. The High Elf Archmage Teclis begins here on the Turtle Isles, deep in Lizardman country. He faces a wholly different set of challenges from his brother Tyrion in Ulthuan. Lustria's jungles are the domain of the Lizardmen and their fearsome saurian beasts. The Slan Mage priests rule over this place, directing the Lizardmen according to the great plan decreed by the Old Ones. They, too, seek to preserve the vortex and prevent calamity. The geomantic web, ancient lines of power connecting the great temple cities, lies in disarray. Should the Lizardmen revitalize these strands, their efforts to enact the great plan will be much enhanced. And here we see Lord Mazdamundi, mightiest of the living Slan. He and his army have adopted the astromancy stance, granting them unmatched insight into their surroundings. Finally, let us join the legendary Saurus warrior Krok-Gar and his Lizardmen cohorts as they prepare to do battle with a High Elf force at the ancient portal of the Fallen Gates.